performance indicators, or KPIs, are the critical or key signs of progress or success toward an intended result. KPIs provide a focus for improvement, create an analytical basis for decision-making, and help focus attention on what matters most within a project or organization. Managing with the use of KPIs includes setting targets that describe the desired level of performance and tracking a project's progress against that target. Good KPIs have the following characteristics. They provide objective evidence of that progress toward achieving a desired result. They measure what is intended to be measured to inform decision-making. They offer a comparison that measures performance changes over time. They track things like efficiency or effectiveness, behaviors, project performance, personnel performance, or how resources are being used. And they are balanced between measures that predict future success and those that highlight the past successes within the project. Achieving value within a set of measurements is connected to how those measurements create understanding. When the organization and the people within it know how various metrics are used and how those measurements contribute to evaluating success. KPIs can be categorized into several different types. Inputs measure attributes, amount, type, quality, of resources consumed in processes that produce outputs. This could be time, money, people, or some other resource. Process or activity measures focus on the efficiency, quality, or consistency of the processes within a project and can also track milestones over time. Outputs are result measures that indicate how much work is done and define what is produced. Outcomes focus on the accomplishments or impacts and are usually classified in terms of time, short-term, intermediate-term, or long-term outcomes. In National Science Foundation proposals, setting KPIs is built into the process of designing a project logic model, where many of the same terms are used. But versions of KPIs, whether they are formally called that or not, are applied across all types of sectors to manage team and organizational performance. To help you get a sense of how projects and their success are evaluated, particularly outside of academia, I sat down with colleagues to explore this in more detail.
Performance indicator in our case would be, like I talked about, the efficiency of moving the experiment forward timely. That's a key indicator. But another one is also care. So we try to assess. So care is a little bit subjective. Well, a lot subjective, but we try to assess how much does someone really care about what they're doing and about contributing to the company and contributing because we're an international company, and so we try to assess how much do you care about the overall goal of science and saving lives and the grand scheme of what you're doing. And so those are two key performance indicators. The efficiency of moving the experiment forward being obviously very objective, and the care performance indicator being subjective to a large degree, but there are ways to assess that, I believe.
So when we talk about key performance indicators in my line of work, we're oftentimes considering different types of KPIs. And in particular, we like to distinguish in a lot of our projects between outputs, outcomes, and then impacts. And different folks will use KPIs in talking about these three different things. So we try to be really clear in our language around kind of what exactly we're meaning with KPIs. So an example of that is one of our projects that's has, I think, done this really well is a project called Sea Change. And the project Sea Change works with universities to try to help colleges and universities transform their organizational structures to increase the diversity of STEM faculty and STEM students. And so when we're thinking about the work of that project, we think about kind of outputs as the indicators of what participants are actually doing with us. And this is very much kind of more quantitative, more easily measured things. Who's participating in what do they do? We then think about kind of outcomes or leading indicators as the short-term goals where we can measure some sort of change or some action occurring based upon the work that we've done with institutions. And then we kind of think about longer term impacts, which are usually the key performance indicators that we're really looking for, the impacts that we're trying to make. So in this case, we might be thinking about while an institution has joined as a member of this project, the outputs are that they have gone through particular activities and participated in different capacity building workshops. The outcomes might be changes to their institutional policy. And then the very final part of that, the key performance indicator that we're really looking at are the long-term goals of, did their faculty structure actually change? Did we see an increase in the number of underrepresented faculty that this institution was able to recruit as a result of the activity that they were engaged with us in? And so we really try to think about KPIs along the spectrum, because many of times the very thing that we're most looking to achieve is the longest time horizon, is the most difficult for us to attribute to what we did way back here downstream. And so we try to chart those out across a spectrum of outputs, outcomes, and then impacts.